So at this point, if you've been watching the videos, you've heard me refer to templates over and over and over again. So this is where we're actually going to learn more about templates and learn how to actually create our own. So every time we create a new drawing from AutoCAD, okay, it uses a template. Now the screen that I have here is basically if I close out of all of my drawings. Okay, this is essentially the start screen, and we note that because it'll ask us, about getting started, and it'll gray out everything else. So you may not have experienced this as of yet if you've opened the program and started drawing, because what AutoCAD does is it'll skip that step of having you specify a template when you open the program directly, as it'll automatically open up a new file and use its default template. Okay. However, when you close out of your drawing, you get to this space, and even though you're still in the program, you need to open up a new drawing file, okay, and create a new file, or else you cannot work. So if you use the new command, okay, AutoCAD is set up to ask you to select a template. So if I go to this screen and I go to new drawing, okay, and click on the button for that, what it does is AutoCAD will point you to use one of their default templates. So this is located in your computer, and these are all the default templates that AutoCAD has created for the system and for the program. However, these templates are not set up using architectural units, as other information that we need, and may take time away from your drafting in order to set this all up. So basically, that although a template may not be completely relevant, okay, to our beginning work, templates are prevalent in a professional setting, so they are important to know. You might not be using this template for everything that you do, okay, and you'll find that we kind of introduce it and use it once and then kind of skip over it a bit. But you'll find that many times professionally, templates are set up for plan files, elevation files, section files, detail files, etc. And again, they're there in order to customize what shows up when you create a new drawing, and they can be customized for each drawing type. So to create a template and to create our template, okay, we start by opening up a drawing file using this AutoCAD template. Okay, so with this drawing file, we want to set up our template. So keep in mind that we should be adding the things that we're setting, okay, up as settings, but not actual objects in the model space itself. So if we do, and sometimes, it is applicable to add in objects. Maybe somebody wants to create a specific structural grid, okay, for a specific project. They might actually set up a template with that structural grid. However, anytime we open up a template and it has objects, okay, lines, rectangles, circles, whatever, in the model space, that's going to show up every time that you open up a new file, or create a new file from the template. So we want to avoid putting any objects in model space. It's really just about settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, okay, and you'll notice here, drawing template DWT, it's asking for me to select a template. Okay, so a template, a DWT, is different from a DWG. I'm going to start with the ACAD, okay? We'll start to look at, the 3D one later on when we work with 3D, but for now we're going to work with just the simple ACAD template, and this is what, this is the default template that AutoCAD has, and opens up whenever you open up a new file. So if I go to open, okay, you'll see what shows up, exactly as we have been working with, the drawings thus far. So to create a template, what we want to do is we want to start to, again, set up our drawing the way that we want it to. Okay, but before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first change my units. Okay, so I'm going to type in units, and as I've noted before in other lectures, that the units by default, okay, with the AutoCAD ACAD drawing template, okay, are not in feet and inches. They're in decimal, and we know that, okay, when we look below at our coordinates if we have them on with our settings. Okay, so if I type in units, I'm going to change this to architectural and hit OK. Okay, so we've gone through that process before. We have to go through that process whenever we start to draw, and draw with objects that are feet and inches. So after this step, we're going to go to File, okay, or the application menu, and Save As, and we're going to save this as a drawing template. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to create our own drawing template. So note that this, where AutoCAD wants to change, where it wants to save this drawing template is it wants to save it with the rest of the templates. So what I suggest is you save it where you can access it and you can find it. So for example, I'm going to save it to the desktop, okay, and I'll save it under week 16, first name, last name, and then just noting that it's the drawing template, and then making sure it's a DWT file, and hit save. And once that happens, it'll come up noting that it's normal feet and inches. It uses color dependent plot styles. We'll learn more about that later. And then I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so what happens is that when you save the template file, okay, it's important to, not only save it as a DWT file and not a DWG file. Okay, so it is a template file. But we need to make sure that we're not saving over our DWT file, okay, when we start to draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this file. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to create a new file. And instead of using my AutoCAD templates, I want to find my template that I created right here. And if you can't find it, just make sure that the files of type is noted as DWT, not DWG, and hit open. And what that does is it opens up a DWG file, okay, as we can see up above, with our template file. Okay, now right now there's really nothing completely obvious about this as a customized template. Okay, but we notice first off the bat that our units have changed. So what we did is we created our own template using architectural units, and it saved us that step. So what we did is we created a drawing from our drawing template.